Once there was a gardener, and the gardener said, "Let the earth burst forth with plants that make seeds, so that they will make even more plants and seeds." All this belonged to the gardener, and the gardener was happy. So the gardener blessed it. Now, the birds came to the garden and made a home there. They belonged to the gardener too, and the gardener blessed them. Sometimes the birds take the seeds of the plants and leave them in another place. When that happens, the plant with seeds makes another plant with seeds, and the garden grows. Sometimes the wind blows the seeds, ruah, and the seeds land in another place. When that happens, the plant with seeds makes another plant with seeds, and the garden grows. It's a mystery how big plants come from small seeds. But once the gardener explained how it happens. He said, if a seed falls into the earth and dies, it bears much fruit. What? He was always saying strange things like that. How could life come from dying? Well, here is how. The good gardener takes the seed and blesses it. Then after it is buried, the seed breaks apart. And when that happens, the seed gives away even more life. That is how the garden grows lush and beautiful. Isn't it wonderful? In time, however, people spoiled the garden, so the good gardener sent his son to restore it. The gardener's son came to dwell in the garden, and like a small seed planted in the ground, he came to die to make new life. Now when the baby grew up, he said, "I am the good shepherd," and he called people to follow him like sheep following a shepherd. They were at home with him. They belonged to him. Then he took them and he led them to good places, green pastures and living water, where he blessed them. He said such wonderful things, they wanted to be with him always. His words were like food to their hungry souls. In fact, once they listened to him all day and hadn't eaten anything. They were hungry, and by then there were 5,000 people with them, but all they could find to eat among the whole crowd were 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Not enough. But the Good Shepherd took that little bit of bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it away anyway. To their surprise, that little bit of bread just kept appearing. It wasn't running out. To their surprise, that little bit of bread multiplied. And to their surprise, that little bit of bread fed more than 5,000 people that day. All because the Good Shepherd took the bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it away. He took it, blessed it, broke it, and gave it away. Well, some people did not like what the Good Shepherd was saying and doing, and how all kinds of people started following him. So they wanted to get rid of him. The Good Shepherd was in a dark place now, the valley of the shadow of death. And there, in the shadow of death, he prepared a table for his followers. And there, at his last supper, he took the bread, he blessed it, he broke it, and he gave it away. This time he told them he was the bread. This is my body, he said. That was the miracle. He was broken. He died. And that is sad. But his body was like a seed that falls to the ground and dies, to live again. Now his life just keeps growing and growing and growing, like the plants that make more plants and the bread that made more bread. Here is how it happens now. It happens by his Spirit, who is like the seed of the gardener planted in our hearts, and like the bread of the Good Shepherd sent to nourish us. Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and his Spirit is like a flame. So on the day of Pentecost, the disciples got caught up in the light of Jesus in a whole new way. They were taken and carried away by his Spirit, and the Spirit's light blessed them and broke over them. Each of them had a tongue of fire over their head, and the light sent them to give themselves away to others, to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth. This is how we know Jesus today. Those who have gone before us were taken, blessed, broken, and given away by the Spirit. So when we let ourselves get carried away with Jesus like they did, by the Spirit of Jesus, we become one with the light too. The Spirit assures us we belong to him. We make a home in God, and God makes a home in us. The Spirit blesses us. When you are one with the Spirit, you become more and more radiant. But sometimes we are in a dark place. We're broken. But the good part is God's fire makes us pure. It doesn't burn us up. It only burns away what we don't need. So we're able to share the light of God even more. Like the seed of the gardener, like the bread of the Good Shepherd, like the light of the Spirit, we are taken, blessed, broken, and given away. And that is how God nourishes us all. Amen.